Hey everyone, Robin and Kevin here for another version of Wednesday Wine Chat. And check the forecast this weekend, Robin, and it's gonna be hot. Like
nothing but
real
sunshine.
hot. Yeah. 34 degrees on Saturday. So what am I sipping on this Saturday afternoon? Trying to beat that heat.
Last thing I could imagine sipping on is like a big giant bottle of red wine. So
No, I'm not gonna be doing that.
we came up with the Great White Thirst Quenchers, little 5-pack of white wine for the weekend.
All right, why don't you run us through it? What do you got? I love that we started here because
Right.
kind of forget about that one sometimes. It's just a cool little wine, a great little story, and I don't think people know it very well. So
Totally, it's one
Let's
that
talk
kind
Gascony.
of has been around for, I don't know, 6 months or so now since we first started working with them and bringing the wines in. I love this one for the thoughts of patio and just easy sipper and drinker. It's got that little tiny whisper of sweetness, Colombard, Uni Blanc blend, which just makes it like really soft and juicy and thirst quenching on the patio.
and the alcohol.
11.5.
See, that's the key. That's your picnic wine. That's that wine you can
Yeah.
have a few sips of at lunch and still come back and maybe get something done in the afternoon, right? Like you're not just totally
From
like.
experience?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I think this is a cool story because Chateau de Cidre is a winery that we love. They're based in Cahors, which is the region just south of Bordeaux. So they've got some vineyards that are in the Gascony region. So Gascony was actually really well known for Armagnac and Cognac and spirits, but as the world has sort of been drinking a lot less Armagnac and Cognac in the last 10, 15 years, they kind of had to find other things to do with those grapes. So they started making white wine. And the white wines, I think, are really exceptional.
Mhm.
And they're really inexpensive. So you get like some wines with real character. They're kind of country, fresh, fun, springtime drinking wines and amazing value. What does that sell for normally? Like,
That one's $19 on the shelf.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
yeah, you really can't beat that. And don't get scared by that little hint of sweetness. This really just smells like kind of like spring flowers. It's
Mhm.
really pretty. It's just soft and it's like it's picnicky. Is that a word?
That's
Picnicky?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah. If
In
that
our
was a word,
vocabulary.
you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's perfect. It's lunchy. It's what you want to be drinking and
Yeah.
then, going back to work after. All right, what's
Amazing. Malaya, so a little Verdejo Sauvignon Blanc blend. And again, this one's pretty new for us, another Spanish option.
Yeah.
And I love
Another great deal.
Verdejo. It's kind of like the softer side of Sauvignon Blanc, right?
Right.
It gets a little more tropical, still has that zesty zippiness to it,
Mhm.
but again, just super, super crushable.
Summery but not green.
Yes.
How's that?
That's perfect.
All right. What's next?
Pinot Grigio, de Leonardo. I have to say I'm a little bit guilty of sometimes thinking that Pinot Grigio is going to be a little bit boring.
You can say boring.
Okay,
You can say
I can
dull.
say it.
You can say predictable, right? There's a lot of Pinot Grigio out there that's less than inspiring. How's that?
That's a great way to put it. But at $19, I really, really love this wine. It's got way more character to it. It's definitely got a little more texture and richness on the palate.
Yeah.
Kind of think of like poached spicy pears. Like it's super, super tasty.
Yeah, the difference here is this wine comes from Friuli, which is an area for really high quality wines. It's in the northern part of Italy, so you're not getting one of those Pinot Grigios that comes from just like a really hot vineyard in the south where kind of all the characters ripened out of it. These are stony soils, it's a cool climate, it's kind of over on the Adriatic side, right? And
Mhm.
this is a great spot. This is where some of the best white wines from Italy come from. And that's $19, so that's a really, really good buy.
100%.
All right.
And also $19 Henri Pion Chardonnay. I
Just
also
keeps ticking away, right?
can't always find really great Chardonnay in that $19 range. A lot of his vineyards are up in Burgundy, so you're getting definitely some higher quality.
Yeah.
These guys are just a little bit further south where he's getting these grapes from, and it just offers a little more tropical kind of fruit profile. Again, a little more richness on the palate, but not that heavy oaky style that you can sometimes fall victim to in that price point.
Yeah, agreed. It's really hard to find the Chardonnay that you want to drink at those cheaper price points, and these guys just do a really good job. It's
Yeah.
consistent. It tastes like Chardonnay. It's not overbearing. It's not over the top. It's not overly oaky. It's just like really fun to drink. So,
Mhm.
okay, you're on a roll. What's
I'm on
next?
a
Don't
roll.
blow it now. Got a good case going here.
Well, one of our newest favorites that we both love, and this is actually jumping into our weekly features.
Oh yeah.
But the Latido de Sara wines. So
Okay.
again, brand new. They're out of the region of Navarra, and they're actually made in one of the oldest wineries in that region as
Yeah, I
well.
read that. It's kind of a cool story. And a lot of people probably don't know white Grenache, right? They probably know
Mhm.
red Grenache, like I'm opening right now, that we're about to taste. But talk a little bit about white Grenache.
Yeah, white Grenache. I mean, you can find it in Spain. We can find it kind of in the Rhone Valley and sort of southern parts of France. But what I love about it is it sometimes offers, again, just like a little more
Here you go,
textural.
Robin.
Thank you. Lots of that stone fruit profile to it, a little bit of white flowers, just really aromatic, pretty, super food friendly.
You used
Checks
all
all
the
the
descriptions.
boxes.
I got nothing left to say.
Oh, you
Took
got
all my
plenty to
words.
say.
To be honest, this wine's $17.95. I don't know if I can find a better white wine in the store for that.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so, when you get into that like $15, $17 range, usually you're just looking for something like, hey, it's a good example, it's delicious, it's simple, it's easygoing. This wine goes like a little beyond that, right? Like there's some complexity here, there's some serious texture here. I took a bottle of this home and I couldn't believe the price point on that. For $17.95, I mean,
Yeah.
it gives you everything you want and a whole bunch you didn't expect, really.
Yeah, and the winemakers here are actually a little bit newer. I mean, their first vintage was only a few years back. They haven't been around all that long, 2016.
Right.
But she's been making wine, and they've both been in the area collectively making wine for over 26 years now. Latido de Sara actually means the heartbeat of Sara, so she
Had
actually
to
gave
look
it the
that
name.
up. I had to look that up.
Paid homage to her passing of her father, because he always encouraged her to kind of jump out, really get into her passion, and that's where it falls. So
Cool story.
yeah.
So I know Navarra a little bit as the region next to Rioja that typically makes like maybe more modern styles of wine. So you don't get sort of the traditions that you do in Rioja, but we get like a
Yeah,
little
this
more
is good.
experiments going on, right? You get people trying sort of different things and sort of some new thinking that goes on in Navarra.
Mm-hmm.
And this definitely falls into that style. Grenache is one of the most planted grape varieties in Spain. They grow a lot of Grenache there, but a lot of it comes from the south and a lot of it comes from really hot regions. So it's kind of normal to find Grenache in Spain that's very like stewy or pruny or like overly warm. So you really taste like the sunshine and the heat, and sometimes to the detriment of it.
This is not like that. This
Yeah.
is so fresh.
This is what really blew me away about this wine, is how like perfumed and pretty it is. It tastes like something that comes from a slightly cooler region where you get more like complexity from Grenache and not just the ripeness. I'm
No,
gonna drink this.
this
though.
is
You can
awesome.
you can talk. I'm drinking now.
You gotta move on to the talking.
It smells so good.
No, it smells like bright red berries and just like has that little hint of florality to it. Like it's really complex and interesting for a $17 wine.
It's just so bright.
Yeah.
It's just so happy. It makes me smile when I drink it. This is perfect wine on a summer night. And you just want to drink something that's like refreshing and bright. It's not gonna like weigh you down, but still has tons of flavor. This is gonna like be perfect with anything from like pork chops to like burgers. You probably like light enough. You could serve that with salmon maybe. Like,
And I mean, we're talking
Really
30
light.
degrees all weekend long. You start here, and
Yeah.
if you're gonna have some burgers, end up here, because
Maybe
that's
you put a-
exactly where you want to be.
a little chill on that.
Absolutely.
This is good gear. I'm taking one of these home for sure. Also $17.95, right? So you really can't beat the value.
You can't.
Anything else to say? That was a lot.
I
I'm
think we
good.
made our way through it. I don't know. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, come
This
taste these.
5-pack, $90, available online
Wow.
if you are looking for that free delivery now
Good
that you're
deal.
back from your long weekend or maybe packing for a holiday. Pick one of these up. This is online as well.
Yeah, come
Round
by
it
and
out
try
to make a
these.
6-pack.
Yeah.
Add in a red.
Smart. There you go. It's a 6-pack now.